diversify your income, because you find that you put so much effort on one thing, such that when it goes down, definitely you're not going to even be burnt out. Maybe you will be depressed because it went down.
So I believe that understanding when to say no is very important, and that is when need be. And
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Balance It podcast. Balance It is a platform that empowers young men and women to live a purposeful life.
we delve into conversations relating to purpose-driven living, business, entrepreneurship, and abroad experiences. I'm Gertrude Nasike.
And I am Etta Onyoni.
And in the spirit of entrepreneurship and businesses,
Yes.
Today we just want to find out, or we're discussing about, can we really build wealth without having burnout? Yes. So that's our biggest question today. We want to find out if we can build wealth without having burnout, without going for too long without rest. Yes.
Do you think we can build wealth without having a burnout?
Yes, I think we do. We can. It's just a matter of finding the balance, because I feel like burnout really comes from mostly trying to do a lot of things and achieve so many things at the same time. And another thing also, not knowing how the ecosystem really is, and thinking maybe those who have made it just made it overnight. But one thing most of us don't know is that there has always been behind the scenes. Some have taken even 10 years, some have taken 20 years, some have taken so long before they got to that success. But now we don't see that. And I think the fact that we push ourselves so much is because we just think they overdid it and just became successful. So I think we can really do business or build wealth without burnout. But if we understand the ecosystem and what happens around such successful entrepreneurs.
I agree with you. I totally agree with what you are saying, but at the same time, I'm looking at it from, like, especially at the seed stage. The seed stage, okay, after the business has started bringing in money,
Yes.
that one is a bit possible, but at the point of having the idea and now starting the business, I know we can avoid the burnout, but often at times there are just so many pressures around everything that is happening, especially when you're starting a business and you are the one who has all the hats on. So you find that everything is just pushing you towards doing everything. And often at times now the burnout just comes without even us realizing. I think there is that bit, but after once the business has started bringing in the money and the systems are set, then we can be able to do it without the burnout.
Yeah, I think so as well. But do you think maybe for second time entrepreneurs, or for people who, yes, maybe they've started a business before and it failed and they're doing it again, do you think at the seed stage they might really go through the same situation?
Not the same as the first one, but especially if you are just one person doing everything, unless now the second time you have your learnings and everything, unless you are also doing it with a team, then it might be a bit easier. So the burnout is not, the extent of the burnout is not like totally burnt out, but there is some level of too much focus into whatever that you are doing that might lead you to some level of burnout.
Fair enough. I would say that okay, so we can just go directly now to exactly what we think can help us, or how we think we can build this wealth. So I would say, first of all, trying to really define wealth holistically. not just wealth in terms of money, but rather wealth in terms of also having good health, wealth in terms of also having your time.
Yeah.
That is so underrated, but it's wealth as well. Because sometimes you find you're not, I don't like being sick, I think is the worst thing. And you find that sometimes you're very sick and you cannot, you have maybe the money and you cannot really even enjoy that money. You understand? So I feel like redefining what wealth is to us can really help us, because as you're really trying to push and thrive and make that business work, I know you need to put a lot of hours, you need to put a lot of time, but also understanding that your health also comes first, and your body is the vehicle or the vessel that you're using to actualize this business would really help in
Yeah.
you reducing the burnout, or you taking priority to stay healthy in order to propel and follow that money. Because if we do not, if we just put our minds in terms of wealth being only money, then that's when I feel like we're going to push ourselves to a total burnout level that we cannot be able to even be strong enough to follow through with the whatever we started the
Yeah.
idea.
I totally love that analogy, because most of the time when you're talking about wealth, we're just looking at the financial bit of it. But still also our health is also our wealth.
Yeah.
Especially at that seed stage, you find that it's everything is just you, and if you are not okay health wise, then everything is also not going to run.
True.
So the wealth, yeah, I love the redefinition of wealth bit of it. Yeah, so I think something else that maybe I can add is looking at the overlooked sacrifices. Now we're talking about the wealth, but now if you're just talking about money as your wealth, and that is why I love the idea of redefining what wealth is for us. You find that there are so many things that we overlook, be it our family, our relationships, be it things that just give us happiness, or just engaging in hobbies and just taking care of our mental health. You find that we overlook these important aspects so much, especially when we are just building our wealth. And in the long run, it is going to affect us either way. It is going to catch up with us. So it's a matter of also just looking at what is really important for me at the moment, and just trying to prioritize. There is the finances yet, but also there is also self-care. There is finances, yes, but also there is things like having friendships, having relationships, and prioritizing that as well.
That's very true. And another thing I would like to say is allowing yourself to be human and delegating tasks that you cannot do, and also resting. Most of the time, and I think it's something that I really struggled with when I was starting my business. I was, as much as yes, you have all the hats, but you know that you can really delegate something, and at that point maybe you're in a position to, but the fact that you just feel like you're the one who has the vision of this company, or you're the one who really understands how you want that business to be run, you're really you're really tempted to hold on to the business, the entirety of it all. But understanding that you can actually delegate work is very important, and it doesn't mean that you're any less of a person, but it actually gives you more power, because the fact that you can actually trust someone else to do something that you are doing, it means that you are growing first of all as a person. And another thing, if this person was working with you, then it means that you're actually a very good mentor to start to this person or to such people. So understanding the power of delegation and rest, not as weakness, but rather as the power to just take time and recharge, can be very important when it comes to building wealth without burnout.
Yeah, and just tying that to also having systems that actually work. It's not a matter of, like, right now we are in the digital era. We
Yeah.
always say that over and over again. We are in the digital era, and we have to utilize. We have so many free tools that we can be able to utilize, especially in our businesses. So finding those businesses, those tools,
Yeah.
or those systems that can actually enable things to run through, even if you are not available, such that Gitu does not have to be there for your business to
Yeah, true.
continue running. So what happens when you need to go to the hospital or you have an emergency? So you realize that building systems that actually work for your business. So that might look like having maybe a CRM tool that can actually be able to help you capture maybe your sales and your leads, or having an accounting system that can be able to help you just account for the business, such that you don't have to keep on accounting each and every day or each and every month, but you just need to go and click a button and everything is right there. So yeah, building automated systems that can actually help your business is just an addition to the delegation bit of it, because a system can do so many things for you that even you might not be able to do. Yeah.
That's very true. And I would also like to add on just understanding the power of no. It's also not a weakness. Sometimes we are really tempted to say yes to so many things, even if we are on the edge, like literally you're falling down, but you're still taking up responsibilities. So I believe that understanding when to say no is very important, and
Yeah.
that is when need be. And let it not be a no from a point of just being proud or being egoistic, but rather a no that you feel like, if I take up this more work, or if I take up these more responsibilities, then it means that I'm actually going to collapse, or I'm like, it's actually going to be very detrimental, maybe to my health or to my business. So just understanding when and how to say the no when need be is a very important way to prevent burnout.
Yeah, it was just the same thing that I was listening to some influencer uh, was she was saying that it was at first when she was starting the influencing, it was very hard to actually get the creative jobs. But now once she has been in the market for so long, so people already see the work that she's doing, and more she's getting more and more people coming to just tell her to market for them their product. And you find that at times it got to a point where she was just taking in all these jobs, and it started getting into her mental health, that she was getting the money, yes, by getting all these jobs, but you have to deliver either way. You need to send reports for all these clients, and it was getting the detrimental. And she was saying the exact same thing: just say no, even if it is this amount of money. It's better to deliver one good service to one client compared to delivering just small pieces of things to different clients, because it might also not make your brand grow as it is supposed to be. Yeah.
Wow.
And something else that even as we are building wealth that we also need to be cognizant of is things like our like just ensuring that our minds, in taking care of our mindfulness, or as a whole people, so that might look like not neglecting your interests and your hobbies, not neglecting the family meetings that you normally attend, not neglecting your friends even as you are doing business. Because even if that business grows, your friends are going to be there, your family is going to be there, and they see as well, they see you grow, and they see how you are also treating them as you grow. So you don't want to get to a point where you have reached at this higher level, and then now you're trying to now talk to your friends, and they're like, where have you been? Yeah. Yeah, right now we don't know you, honestly. So even as we are trying to build wealth and just to avoid the burnout, friends, family, communities, and just the things that really fuel us, be it whatever that really gives you joy and your passion. Those are also things that we need to just put them as priority. The same way, you know, that you have to wake up maybe attend this meeting with this specific client, or I'd start this meeting with my employees, then it's the same way you need to prioritize and say that between 6 to 7 a.m. or p.m. I will be able to be going to the gym. I will be talking to my family at this time. That is the same level of prioritization that we also need, which is also tied to time management, because now time management is a very big thing, especially when you don't want burnout.
Yes, all right, that's very true.
Yeah.
Lastly, I would also say, as an entrepreneur, try to get role models or mentors who have actually walked this journey as well. And role models who you feel or you've had their stories of maybe how they really built their business without the burning out, or how they really built their businesses and despite the burnout they were managing it. So at least having role models or having people who have gone through such situations can really be a good way to improve, or rather to just build your wealth without having to really struggle or stress so much, because it's like you already have a blueprint that you're following, and just all you have to do is do a few modifications to it that would actually now suit your current situation and current environment as well.
Yeah, I totally love that. I love that because the other day I was just looking for people who are in the business ahead of me because I also had the same thing somebody else say, and it really made sense to me. So it's just looking at what they have done and has worked for them that I can be able to implement in my own business, which is very profound. Yeah, and also something lastly that I could add is maybe diversify your income, because you find that you put so much effort on one thing, such that when it goes down, definitely you're not going to even be burnt out. Maybe you will be depressed because it went down. So it's best to diversify your sources of income such that you're not just focusing on one thing. The other sources of, you might be having like one or two active incomes, but also put money into things like passive incomes, places that can be able to generate your money to help you as an individual, and also the business as you are, if you are in the growing stage or in the developing stage. Yep.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can end it there. And thank you for being with us until this point. Let us hear if you have businesses, what you have done to enable you not to burn out, or what are those practices that you are partaking in your day-to-day activities, even if you are actually not an entrepreneur, even if you're in your 8 to 5, let us know what those things that you are doing in order to just ensure that you are of sound mind and you're actually not burning out.
Yeah. And share with your friends and families. And until next time,
Bye bye.
bye.